I'm here with my dear friend Neptune, and today I'm really excited about the topic. It kind of just came to me after I took the 4-day benevolent capitalism class that was facilitated by three of the most aware and well-educated people in access consciousness. The great Gary Douglas himself, of course, and the beautiful and intelligent Shutissa Bowman, and the incredible Steve Bowman. Stephen Shutissa, her husband and wife, and they both live in Australia. They're two of the top strategic business planners in Australia. They train CEOs and do strategic planning for all of the biggest businesses. They know the CEOs of everything. And so it was a really incredible chance to get the use business acumen, and also talk about how the whole world is willing to contribute to you, and the kindness and the warmth that creates an incredible business. And we molded those two things together, and it's like the possibilities that are available are beyond my wildest dreams. So, pardon me, I was sitting after the class thinking about, well, here's our Milica. Hi, Milica.
Hi, everyone. I'm just adjusting my lighting because my house is very dark.
You look like a ghoul.
I'm trying this. How do you guys like that?
That's awesome. I was just telling everybody about how I took benevolent capitalism and all of the wild and amazing things that I learned. So anyways, the topic for today, the mountains and the oceans have your back. And it's like I just moved to Vancouver, and I have a 20th floor apartment, and you can see the oceans and the ocean and the mountains in the background. And I wake up to them every morning now, and I have such a greater communion with the earth. And one day, it was like after the benevolent capitalism class, everything sort of shifted focus, is the best way I could put it.
Yeah, I remember that day for you, because we were talking about it.
Yeah. Milica is part of all my good days. Yes.
Some of the not so good ones too.
And those so it was almost like everything shifted focus, and it was like this sense of, oh, look at the float plane, look at him. But it was like everything shifted, and it was like I had this awareness that the mountains and the ocean do have my back, totally. I always had a good communion with the earth, but this was like they're watching me, and they are willing to gift. And I was like, whoa. So it was like, we have to tell everyone, Milica, we have to tell everyone.
I know. And I remember saying to you, do you know how much of a gift you are that you allow things to have your back?
Right.
Because so many times people won't allow that. And that's like, it's frustrating when you want to gift to the world, or you want to have people's backs, and they're like, no, I don't have time for you to have my back. It's not going to work for me. It's uncomfortable. Totally. I've never had this before in my life. I don't know what to do with it. And then, so yeah, it's such a gift to have you in my life, and you're willing to let me have your back. So that's so cool to me that it's like, hey, yeah, awesome. So when you were saying the mountains and the ocean have your back, I'm like, how many other things on the planet have our back? Is that if we were just to say, like, thank you, I'll receive that, and I'll allow you to have my back.
Yeah.
How many things are we refusing to let have our back that would have it?
Yeah, that's what you said to me that day we were talking, and you did, you just go out of your way for me in so many ways, and I'm like, Milica, thank you for having my back. And you're like, Julia, thank you for letting me. You don't know, nobody lets me have their back. I just want to have people's back, and you were the only people who lets me. And I was like, I didn't know that was a gift, but okay. But it so is. And I was looking at children always will let you have their back. They expect you to have their back. And it's like, where do we lose that? So actually, let's clear that. So for anyone who is not familiar with the tools of Access Consciousness, go to accessconsciousness.com and you can learn about the clearing statement there and stuff. This is the tools that this work comes from. If this is your first intro, I'm sort of assuming people have a bit of a background, but accessconsciousness.com is an awesome resource. Yeah, so anyways, let's clear this. Let's ask this. At what age did you stop allowing the world to have your back? And everything that is times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, meals. It's almost as though not allowing people to have your back is what we've decided is the contribution. Like, that's when you're an adult. That's when you've made it in the world, is when no one has your back anymore.
Yeah, and you can be having a really hard life and really tough life, and nothing can be ease, and never allow people to contribute to you, because that's when you know you've made it.
Seriously. Yeah, so everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it all, times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yeah, it's like, so when I kind of say the mountains and the ocean, and I'm so glad that we're doing it while I'm here. I was going to do it last week while I was away, and it's like we needed this backdrop.
For the mountains.
And of course, Neptune. I mean, what's a hangout without the Neptune now?
Right.
I think he could be an Access Consciousness fixture.
I love him.
I love him too. My sister just wrote a book. She wrote a self-help book. It's actually a joke, if you can see.
It's awesome.
It's like, love yourself, but not too much. And it's how many lies are they telling you? So this is her, and she made a mock book cover, a magazine, and it's a 7-chapter self-help book using the tools of Access Consciousness. It's sort of like a good intro, like this reality sort of intro to Access Consciousness. She's a brilliant girl. It's a brilliant book. So anyway, she's having her book launch party here, and she's like, oh, Neptune, like I'm so excited to have him in the festivities.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
So funny. But yeah, it's like having made it in this world has somehow been twisted with no one having your back, with you totally not receiving from anyone or everything and doing everything on your own. So everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds.
That was awesome, Julia.
Thank you.
I had the awareness that the universe had my back the other day when I saw that the Muppets were coming back.
I know, and they're having adult Muppets.
I had to like write it right away, and I was like waiting for your response. I was like, I know Julia's going to see this.
For those of you who don't know, Milica is obsessed with the Muppets. He brings out the Muppet in me, that she surrounds.
It was really funny because I was actually like playing with, how can I play with the things that are really fun for me more? And I was actually missing the Muppets that night in some weird way. So I was talking to Ziva about that, and I said, yeah, when I was a kid, it was like, for us and my family, that was like the night that we all sat around. We would hang out, and it was the night that we got pop and chips. And like in my family, back in the day, you used to get these 750 milliliter bottles of glass bottles of pop.
Right.
And we had a family of like 10 of us. So between the 10 of us, we would split this like 3 bottles or 2 bottles of pop. So we'd have like 2 shots of pop. Yeah, 2 shots of pop, and we would have like 5 chips because we would have like a regular bag that was shared. But that was like, for us, that was like, wow, like that was like awesome adventure for us to have the Muppets. So for me, like the Muppets equal adventure, and I love everything about that. And every time I've ever gone on adventure, I've known that the whole planet has my back. Like when I travel, I know it. It's always, I've had amazing things show up, like amazing hotel rooms, whatever. Like even before I was doing Access, I knew the universe had my back. I just knew that I often wasn't listening to my own self.
Yeah, the tools are really good for that.
Yeah, so for those of you who know, like you see opportunities around and you're kind of like, and things are showing up in your life and then you like negate them and don't choose them, What if you just start acknowledging that you're actually like inviting these things in? The universe is having your back by having them show up, and you can choose them. You can not choose them, but what if you choose the ones you've actually been asking for? Let the universe keep going. Like if somebody gives you a present, Julia, and you're like, and you receive it, how much more is it fun for them to gift to you more than if you're like, yeah, no, I won't have that.
Yeah, that's actually an awesome point, because that was one thing that my mom made very clear. She said, if somebody wants to give you a gift in life, you always receive that gift, no matter what it is. She said, you never, ever say no to somebody who wants to give you a gift. She said, because you're actually hurting them when you don't allow their gift in. Like, so I grew up knowing that. That was the, I mean,
Very cool.
I could write a book called Advice from Ellie. Hey,
That
that's
would be there's a really great idea.
yeah. You know, I like she was a brilliant woman. But one of the things also is like when I was talking about this shift in perspective, like how last week when I was talking to you, it was like I was aware that the whole world and planet and Earth had my back, and it's like it was almost like an alternative universe. And there's the actually the thing that enlivened it, inspired it, helped create it, was a conscious sexualness exercise that Shannon O'Hara has up for free on SoundCloud. We got to find a way to. I'll just copy and paste the link onto my Facebook page. But it's like this meditation, not meditation, but whatever, like where you're putting your barriers down and actually opening your being up to receiving from the universe. And that's actually when I got this awareness from this level. It's like everything does. And you can create, like, you're so much braver when you realize that everything around you is contributing to you. Like there, like you said with the Muppets, it's like the sense of adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having had like that experience of feeling like it's an alternate universe, I thought that was interesting. So what if, the universe where we think that nothing has our back is actually the alternate universe,
Thank
and
you.
that this is the real reality?
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything that is, will you destroy and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, online, podcast, shorts, windmills. Yeah, everywhere you're making this reality more valuable, vital, significant, and necessary than a new reality, than your reality that you're creating, will you destroy and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, podpoc, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds.
I've been watching a few people as they're choosing their own reality, some of our friends in Access, and the more they're choosing their reality, the more amazing things are showing up in their lives. It's like, it's really cool to see how the more you are choosing your reality and like being you and stepping into what's like works for you, the universe has your back like 110%. So what if it's not just this universe? Like, what if it's all universes have your back? Even the ones that you didn't even know about. Like, what if all of it? We talk about.
I love the idea of that. Even the one,
Yeah,
like all universes, even the ones you don't know about. I mean, it's
yeah.
kind of like obvious, but it's not obvious. That was like a really, really cool point.
Thanks. So yeah, what if all of it does? So sometimes I know that like we'll limit it to this universe, and sometimes people have this concept that this universe is actually this planet. So what if it's actually beyond that? What if different solar systems and different galaxies also have the capacity to gift and receive to us in different ways? It's all energy. There's not like a limitation of time and space with any of it. If you do start to buy the lie that there's a limitation of time and space, then you're not going to even conceive of the possibility of receiving from 13 galaxies to the left,
Right.
because there's just like there's no way there's time for that to show up. But what if that 13 galaxies from the left is kind of contributing to you?
Yeah.
Have I watched what?
Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. It's oh, he's a farmer in like Oklahoma or Kansas or something. But like he's like a undercover retired rocket scientist astronaut guy, and it's like he has to like save the world, and he on the spaceship they go from planet to planet, but each planet has different times, and it's like, but it's this whole movie is based on science if you could make it from planet to planet in the spaceship. And it's like on one of the planets it's like 1 minute on the planet is like 6 years back on Earth. So
Wow.
it's like every second they're on the planet, like his daughter, who is like 7, is getting older and older and older. So they have to get on and off the planet to like get whatever they need to get really fast. They go planet to planet, and it was just like because the movie was scientifically driven, which I don't necessarily think science is the end all be all, but it was like it was so neat to realize like time even scientifically isn't real. Like time really, 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 really isn't real. So, and it's like, that's such a good point. Like, how much more could you receive if you didn't look at the time or when things existed or what they were? Like, and it's fun to bring all of those strange and miraculous things into this world and into this reality, because this is where we are. I mean, a lot of metaphysicians and people who do consciousness, or well, it's not really true consciousness in my opinion, but it's like they try to like be away from this reality, or like, I'm going to transcend. But I'm like, I have a body, I have a family, I have friends, I'm here, I have a house, so let's do it here. But it's like you can actually bring these things in, and they all have your back when you ask. It is so cool.
They do. They all have you back. It was cool to me because for most of my life I had this thing where I thought, I actually thought my mother didn't have my back at all, which was a total lie, because everything I'd been told about what having your back would look like would be like giving you everything you want. And what if that's not actually the case? Like, what if, so with my mom having my back, it was more that she was like willing to, you know, create awareness for me. She was willing to facilitate for me, and no other mother I like had seen was doing that. The other mothers were like, you know, giving their kid answers. My mother wasn't. She let me stew and get really uncomfortable.
Really?
And yeah, like my whole life, she never gave me answers. I would ask her for advice. She's like, what do you know? I'm like, I want to know what to fucking do. Like, nope, none of that. So yeah, it was very kind of like frustrating, but at the same time, she totally had my back, which was funny because everything that I thought about having my back would have been like, you know, every time I would go to pathetic when a boyfriend would dump me or there would be a breakup, and I would expect her to buy into my sadness and cry with me. She's like, so I'm going to go make supper, and when you're ready to come eat, let me know. I was like, what? Is my mother a sociopath? But actually not at all. She's like,
hey, anybody who truly has your back in this reality is usually a sociopath.
That's just how it works. It was like, wow. So what is like having your back mean to you? Like, what does that look like to you? And what if it's something completely different?
Totally. I mean, not going into the trauma and the story and just being, that's having somebody's back.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so and that's what she did for me so often. And I was like, well, aren't you going to cry with me? Because this guy broke my heart. He stabbed me. And she's like, And I was like, I want to wish him this disease and that disease. She's like, if you're going to wish him anything, just wish him hiccups for all eternity. I was like, wow, that's insane. But that was like literally, I know that advice because that was literally the only advice she ever gave me.
What was the hiccups?
It was the hiccups. If you're going to wish somebody anything, wish them eternal hiccups. And everything other than that, that was like, you go figure it out.
Wow. The eternal hiccup. It's like when you're raised in a household with witchcraft, it's like that's what you're
And now here's your curse. It's like there's like gypsy curses, you know, and you walk up to people and you just whisper, shh, shh, shh. And it'd be just walking up to them and going, hiccups, hiccups.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, what if the universe doesn't have to give you everything that and the universe will. The cool thing is it will always conspire to like literally like clockwork rearrange everything for you to have things show up. And what if
gonna
the
come in a
universe
weird fucking
has,
package.
right? And what if the universe is having your back in a way, and it might piss you off because you're like, give me the damn answer.
Yeah.
Give me the Mercedes. That's going to save my life. Like, what if the universe has your back and you can just freaking listen, communicate a little more, and maybe actually pay attention?
Oh, that is just so cool. So everything that doesn't allow you to destroy the barriers of what you've decided you'd like your life to show up as, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Mm-hmm.
Right, wrong, good, bad, online, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And everything that doesn't allow you, it's like, I've been transcribing an access class lately, and Gary was talking about how it makes people sick to their stomachs to receive, for the most part. To receive on the level that they would actually like to receive, like it's actually sickening because it's so out of control and so intense and is not of this world to receive that much that it's sort of like going into outer space and getting nauseous and car sick and being flipped around in a spaceship over and over and over again. And when people ask and ask and ask for things, and when they show up, it's such a gross, like it's almost a gross energy. Like it's such an intense, raw, nauseous, upside down energy that it's like, even if you've asked and asked and asked, it doesn't come in the package and it doesn't feel the way it should feel. So we'll shut it down and we'll stop it. So everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
For sure.
Online pod shorts with me. I mean, after I did the 9 trannies class in July, there was a night where I was up the entire night and I literally thought I was going mentally insane or I was dying. Like I thought.
I remember that.
Yes, Steve, Lisa was there through the bad time. But truly, I thought I was going to die, and my life has changed and expanded. And sorry, I think I saw like a ghost in the corner. My life has changed and expanded and exploded in ways beyond anything I imagined. But it's like I almost went crazy to get to this space.
Yeah. So what if this reality is so crazy that when we're actually choosing our reality, it's like this crazy whirlwind tunnel that you're going through and you're like, whoa, I'm going through the crazies. Oh, okay, yeah. New reality. Whew. I had to travel this like weird tunnel funnel and get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. That's
yeah.
a great way to put it. It's like coming out of the Matrix.
It's kind of like yeah, it is, right? That's interesting. That like kind of level of change and like choosing that
Fast too now.
Yeah. And then so then that becomes your new reality and then you start choosing more. So it's not like these things like you have this one-time experience and you're never going to go through that irk feeling again. It's like if you're truly choosing consciousness and stepping up more and more and more and more, you're going to have the gift of uncomfortableness quite often. And in Access, we talk about the heavy and light tools. And, you're talking about people will shut it down, right? Because that energy sometimes is incredibly what we think is heavy, but it's actually really,
heavy.
really uncomfortable. Like, ugh, like what is it's like when you feel like you're contorting and weird stuff's going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to let everyone in onto a secret. Light and heavy is a beginning tool to get you to trust yourself. And it is useful, and sometimes it's a limitation, because if something is really, really heavy or really twisted and uncomfortable and weird, it's probably because you are untwisting yourself from this reality, and it's going to be intense and uncomfortable.
Yeah, because we've talked about that a lot too, right? Like in some of the things that you're creating, and you're like, yeah, no, that's heavy. I'm like, okay, wait. Is it heavy or is it uncomfortable? And you're like, damn it, again, it's uncomfortable.
Damn it, so making me expand again.
It's like really funny, like as we are doing, like when we're in the space of, when we are space and there's this creation going on, and then this thing, this like, this pretzel-y weird like lob comes through. yeah, we'll often go, oh yeah, that's so weird. Like that, what if that's so weird is actually so the uniqueness of you that you've been refusing to even acknowledge, that if you were to acknowledge it and choose it would just dynamically change everything for you. Like when you chose that class, and even though you're going through this like melting, contorting and weirdness, and then you be with that instead of like, some people might choose to medicate themselves out of it, um, you know, drink themselves into a stupor out of it. But when you're choosing to be aware and be in it and with it, and like ask questions while you're going through it, universe got your back, man. The oceans and mountains got your back, and that will shift amazingly.
I'm pointing to them. Looks like
They
I'm
got
pointing
it.
to myself, but it's like
In the trees, I was walking through my forest today. I have this like whole new pathway that just got opened up. And Ziva and I were walking through the forest today, and it's amazing just walking through it. There was like gratitude coming from my trees. So before this like space was opened up, I couldn't get back there, and I've had this property for
cool.
4 years, and I couldn't get back there.
Cool.
To like my back 20 acres I couldn't get into. And so today I got to go into my back 20, and there was this like total sense of gratitude, like thank you so much for like getting that guy in here to, thank you so much that you can now be in here. We've been freaking asking for you. And it's really amazing when you are in nature and like nature is giving you gratitude for you showing up. It's like, wow, really? Thank you. Like I just asked that guy to tear down trees, but that actually was a major contribution to my forest and like cleaning up the dead stuff. And so what if sometimes, when you do contribute to the earth and to the oceans, what if the oceans are asking you to jump in there and they're thanking you for showing up and, allowing your body to play in there? Like, how many of us are just like, yeah, no, the water's too polluted. No, I'm not going to go on that mountain. It's too dangerous, or it's too cold, or like, but what if these things are calling to you because they want to have your back to you and they would like to contribute to you? And sometimes it actually means like touching them, or, sometimes it's like actually being there. Sometimes it's just energetically asking for that too. But how much fun can you have just receiving that which they're going to contribute to you in whatever way, showing up physically or energetically or whatever?
Totally. Wow, how does it get better than that?
No, it's fun. It's fun having like receiving that gratitude from the universe, when so many times we're gifting gratitude to it, right? We're like, thank you so much thank you, universe, for gifting to me. Thanks for having my back. And this time the forest was like, thank you for having my back. I'm like, well, that's really cool. So
yeah.
it was funny because it was like the conversation we had, right? So
yeah,
like,
exactly.
and I'm having it with trees. I'm like, oh, wow, who knew? I was like, wow, this is true on all levels for me. So what if it's true for levels for you too? Like, your stray cats, your dog, you're grateful for them. What if they're incredibly grateful for you too?
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. This is beautiful. What a beautiful topic we came up with. I hope
you did, right? I remember you said this is how it went down, Julia. You were like, let's do another Google Hangout. I'm like, cool. What's it called? You're like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, ask the Hangout. And you're like, bam, like 35 seconds later. So Julia has absolutely no capacities there whatsoever.
I like naming things.
No, like amazing talent with it. So there, anybody who requires names for anything, I am now plugging Julia, even though she doesn't know this is her new additional career. She can name things for you. Just ask the energy, she's on it.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll probably call her a day there. We were going to do about a half an hour. But yeah, I was so excited about the whole thing, and I just wanted to tell everyone.
Everything's got your back, and what if you could have everything's back? And like, how much fun is that? It's just so much fun, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah, and all one more claim before we go. All the causal incarcerations, causal incongruities, causal incarnations, and causal
Inculcations.
yes, um, of always keeping your barriers up. Will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate them all times a godzillion? Oh, right,
Wow,
right,
that's a good one.
pod, park, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So all the causal incarnations, incarcerations, incongruities, and inculcations you have to always keeping your barriers up and never receiving when the world has your back. Will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate them all times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, pop, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Look like a Disney princess from that angle.
That's good. That was very good. Indeed, you did. You could have a scepter with the world having your back.
Wait, let's see if I can kiss Neptune.
Oh, yes, you can.
Wait,
Very
you
nice.
can't talk because
Close, but you'd have to go back a little bit. Just back up a bit, back up a bit. Okay, turn your head towards your window. There you go. Right on it. Very nice, Julia. And can also, before we go, do one on the causal incarcerations and incarnations on also knowing that you are a gift when you allow things to have your back.
Yeah. Oh, because it so feels like taking sometimes.
Yeah.
So all the I'll do two. All the feelings of taking, will you destroy and uncreate it all? And everywhere that's creating money problems. Debt. Past expenditures, will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all that times a godzillion?
Mm-hmm.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And all of the causal incongruities, inculcations, incarcerations, and incarnations of being a burden.
Yes, being burdened. Never acknowledging that when you allow something to have your back, that it's a gift.
What she said. Will you revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate at all times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Beautiful. Oh, and I have to give a shout out before we leave. The Magic Club is still open for a while. So if you would like to join the Magic Club, it is amazing. It's 12 months.
And it's growing every day. It's so cool.
Oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. So the class, sorry, I'm scratching my leg. I have an itchy leg. But there's two parts to the Magic Club. There's like two basic things we're learning is how to become the magic that you have always been. And I mean, I was telling on the last Google Hangout, there's a lady whose request from the Magic Club was number 1 to levitate and number 2 to have better sex with her husband. And I was like, I love that.
Great.
So it's like whatever you'd like to have out of this Magic Club. It's 12 months long. We have a call every month, and then you get 3 free half-hour private sessions with me, and
lots of other goodies.
So much. We have this amazing secret Facebook club. It's been so fun, and you get the energy pull exercise. So it's like about becoming an incredible energy puller. That's sort of the main focus of the club is pulling energy every single day and the challenge to do it for 365 days, as well as like just being the magic that you are and not making this reality magic significant, actually like becoming the space that moves and shifts the cogs and talks to the mountains and the ocean. So you can go to createyourlifewith.com. No, createyourlifewithjulia.com. createyourlifewithjulia.com and register there. So I love you guys lots. Thank you for being here, Milica, and putting this
together. Love you too. You're welcome.
So
come
amazing.
on for more, guys. You know, Julia's now like loving TV, so we're going to be having more of these. It's the Julia hour. It's the Julia hour, and I just get to be like, hey, Julia, what's up? How's it going, Neptune?
Oh, that's fun.
One of these meetups, my puppet will be interviewing you, if that's what I know.
Ooh, a puppet
meetup. Julia and the puppet. Like
I'm going to text my mom right now, and I'm going to ask her to get her puppets ready because I'm going home next weekend, and my mom had all of the Muppets.
That's awesome. I have Kermit, so
We can play.
you never know who will be interviewing you next.
He has Miss Piggy too.
Nice.
Ellie Sotas. Mom, where are your Muppets? All right. Now that everybody has been in on that text, you can be ready and excited for the Muppets to come.
But you never know when the Muppets will show up on the show.
All right. Love you guys lots. Mwah. Take care.
Bye,
Thanks,
Jules.
Malik. Bye.
My pleasure.